Hi Calculus, Desmos is an awesome tool and we're going to get better at it. I'm going to show you how to make a point that you can drag around to evaluate functions. So let's go into our graphing calculator as always, clicking this blue button, and up comes our Desmos and let's graph a function. So I'll just do f parentheses x, close the parentheses, equals, and let's do x cubed. So I do that by x and then shift 6 gives me that caret that allows me into the superscript 3, x cubed, and then my function appears. And I can just, you know that I can just click on this function and it creates a little red point that I can drag around. Let's say I wanted to find out what is the value of the function when x equals 0.5. So I can get to 0.5. It's a little tricky. There's an easier way to do this. So at 0.5, it is 0.125, but I'm having trouble getting there. So it's just a little bit hard to manipulate. So here's another technique. So let me create some x. We'll call it x sub 1. So I do x, and then I do shift hyphen to get sub, and then type 1. And then I do right arrow to get out of the subscript, and you'll see the cursor pop up, and then I have equals. Okay, so x sub 1 equals, let's say right now it equals 0.5. Okay, and then notice this little range and step option pops up. So I want to say, I'm curious about x between -2 and 2. So I've just typed that in. So x sub 1 is greater than or equal to -2, and it's less than or equal to 2. And my step is like how quickly it moves. So I'm going to say 0.1, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so now I've got this little slider, and I can put different x points. But of course, nothing's showing up over here. So I actually have to plot the point. So you can just create a point. You can just do parentheses 0, 1, and a point shows up, right? So I want to plot this x sub 1 point. So my x is going to be x sub 1, and then I do a right arrow to get out of the subscript, comma, and then my y is just going to be the function at that x sub 1. So I can just do f of x, and then I do shift hyphen to get in the subscript 1, right arrow to get out of it, shift parenthesis to close the parentheses for the f of x sub 1, and then close the parenthesis again to close the point. And now my point has shown up. And if I click the label, the values of the x value and the y value show up right there. So I can use this slider to go precisely to 0.5. And now you can see that at x equals 0.5, the function's value is 0.125. There you go. So you can just manipulate this and move this around. It's just a little bit easier to control the slider. And now I'm up at 1.5. I can go precisely to 1.6 and move this thing around. If you want to change the step, you could just click here on the animation properties. I'm sorry, no, if you click here on this, on the right side, you could change the step. Let's say I want to be more precise, 0.01. And then I can really move this thing around precisely. Let's say I want to find out what's the function's value when x equals 0.95. There we go. So at 0.95, the function's value is 0.857. So this is kind of just a little bit easier than punching things into a calculator. It gives you very precise control over the point on this function, and you can just look at what the function does at different x's and find the value pretty easily. Okay, there's some advanced Desmos. Thank you. Hope it helps.